And shit, I
Well,
told that wrong.
I mean, Caleb talking over anybody happens, whatever. So
I'm amazed Caleb wasn't talking over you just then. In actual fact,
I timed the intro wrong.
By the way,
Audio Eric, your audio is not on. Conner is saying, hear you.
See, terrible.
we not hear Eric.
Does anybody, you need any Fritos? I got a lot of Fritos here. Some Lay's potato chips, some water. We got everything.
I mean, what this is actually
Toilet
is
paper.
here is Push to Talk Apocalypse Edition. This is Eric's emergency surprise.
By the way,
right?
this is a thing that my friend made me the other day. He delivered it. I'm gonna pan up a little bit here. See that? Look at that. Look at that. He got me that nice. He made me that. He made that by hand. Made that by hand. Hold on, I think I went too far down.
So yeah, Eric, we were talking while you were running the intro video that actually the intro video is looking
old,
a little bit dated now.
A little dated.
And with these fancy new assets, what's happening with the video?
We do.
I mean, I look at that video.
You know what? One of the challenging things that I have here is I love Uhler's video. I don't even know if he plays anymore.
It's
his
like
sound.
it's really
sound,
cool.
His music. It's his music, right? So I love it. I love it.
Well, the thing is with the intro video is like everybody except Caleb in that intro video is basically like they're not practicing social distancing. So like, I don't know, like we need to sort that shit out.
The real thing about this behind here is, I just keep this stuff in the office so that I can finally play Eve. Everything I need is right here. I got water. I got snacks. Toilet paper. I'm ready. I don't have to leave the chair. That's kind of.
I'm guessing you've got one of those toilet chairs as well,
toilet
right?
chair.
They're called commodes, Bodgost. Let's at least try and use some terminology.
Warmer on it and everything. It's great. Okay. All right. As you can see, we have our official Brisk for CSM 2020 little tag. I think McLeod, you stole that from his site, didn't you? Hey, Tim.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't do a
stole
thing
it from his site.
Well, somebody stole it from Brisk's site, and
somebody said that
Who
we
did?
should use the. Somebody said that we should use the like Brisk Hope poster. I think
Yes,
that'd be
Brisk
pretty
said
good.
I like the Brisk.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, actually, Brisk said that himself.
So
It's
yeah,
pretty good. Although it doesn't
Brisk-
really fit, you'd have to like turn it on its side, and it would look weird.
Eric,
Use the Hope
are we
poster.
getting
What?
what kickback are we getting for this? Is Initiative paying us, or what? Or are we doing
Innit
this?
can't afford to pay
If you-
people.
Eric, if you could, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Oh no, you couldn't because it would cut off the
let's
hope.
put
I was
the-
just thinking, I was literally thinking, put it behind the Push to Talk logo with him like sticking out the top, like a Scooby Doo character or something.
Also,
Let me see if I can do that while we're live here on this.
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
like here, Resix in Twitch chat is saying that everyone needs to vote as the state tells us to vote, and yeah, absolutely, you should always vote as the state tells you to vote. This is your one democratic choice in EVE Online, and the state will very much appreciate your support. But honestly, if Brisk isn't on the state ballot, then we are doing something wrong with the state.
Yeah, if he's not on the ballot, then I have words upstairs to
who?
to go and do.
Like, Merkel Chin will never allow Brisk to not be on the state ballot. Like,
exactly.
Oh yeah. All right. So you guys talk amongst yourselves because, like, you do. Okay, like whether I'm here or not doesn't really matter. You know, we vote for what Mittens wants. That's right.
I mean,
that is the right.
It's
not to kind of put too much of a downer on that, but Mittens doesn't really build the ballot by
Hey! Mittens does everything in Goons. It's a known fact.
Mittens
does everything by himself with no outside help whatsoever.
Do you know if he disappeared?
And no one has any free choice.
Hey, I mean, we've talked about it before on the show, but Mittens actually does have a hit by a bus kind of scenario.
Every major corporation does.
Every sensible major
and
corporation.
If you don't, then you need to sort it out.
I'm gonna say this. How do you guys? Something that entered my brain that I'm not really gonna share right now. See if you guys like it the way I just did it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say save scene. Okay, and I'm gonna say
transition.
Load. So we'll have a little blink here while I reload, right?
Yeah.
Hold it. Why is it doing that?
I know. The pre-show technical difficulties have now crept in.
We had that. How do you guys like that?
Oh, we have to have
a fit? Is that good? Is that good?
That's all right. I'm
or
fine
no?
with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, you like it? You're okay? Everybody okay? Audience, do you like it?
I like the fact that it looks like he's actually listening to a microphone. I don't think he understands how it should work.
Hey, I was trying to do
concerned.
like the Scooby-Doo thing where his eyes were kind of, hanging out or sticking above the thing, right? And I'm like, it looked too much like Biden sniffing someone's hair, so I can't.
I am a little bit concerned.
Oh my god, Eric.
Well, I mean...
Oh, fantastic.
That doesn't make him a bad person. It's just, he should have been in that hair commercial in the 70s. You guys ever see it? Gee, your hair smells terrific.
No, but okay.
Oh yeah. And then they'll tell two friends, Right.
So yeah, I am slightly concerned with this new setup that we aren't obviously pushing Brisk Rubal for CSM 2020. Yeah, like we've got to spell it out for some people. You've just got to put that right in their brain. So
the big dog.
Could we get the old logo below McLeod, perhaps?
You understand this, what? Dirk? That like saying this next week is just going to be like vote for Brisk.
Next week there is no video.
CSM 15, everywhere. It's just going to be everywhere.
Carneros.
Next week there's no video. The entire screen for the stream will just be Brisk 2020.
Yeah.
We'll do like our little chat hits like we do in the upper corner.
Did we win yet in Twitch chat? Shouldn't it say Brisk instead of Hope? No, because Brisk inspires hope for the future.
By the way, did we win yet? It's just Scythe.
I was not aware of that.
So Carneros just laid it down, right? He figured it out for us. Okay, Brisk's new video needs to be something from an episode of Everyone Loves Raymond. Have you guys ever seen that show? Probably not.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is. Everyone Loves Brisk. There we go.
I believe there is one organization that would beg to differ, but it's not that their opinion's relevant at that.
Rest in peace, widow.
I mean, that isn't who I was on about, but sure.
I had a name, but I just avoided saying it because it's like he who shall not be named on this show.
Brisk's widow was killed in a terrible, atrocious attack that should be condemned by everyone.
Not today, since I'm in the shower.
Brisk,
that's like the perfect day. Just
why is Brisk watching the stream in the shower?
A lot of steam. He's listening. He's probably got one of those. He's like...
He's talking in Twitch chat. He's watching the stream in the shower.
He's literally going like, Alexa,
he has
write this.
Yeah. See, that's what he's got a waterproof little tablet in there, you know, while he's, you know, washing his armpits or something.
Although it'd be hilarious to hear him shout at Alexa saying "Pine cones killed my widow" really loudly, so it's all caps.
Does it do that?
Like neighbors are kind of going, "Fuck."
Imagine what his wife would think. Like, just him yelling in the shower about how pine cones killed his widow. Okay, Brisk has finally gone mad.
Yeah, what we never knew was Brisk kind of did a fake death earlier in life. And like this is his ex-wife.
Oh, you guys are bad.
iPad above the water. That's fair.
I can't believe he's watching the show in the shower. Like,
For whatever reason, I'm thinking like iPad above the like. Is he like strapped it to the ceiling? Kind of thing.
I mean, it feels like it. Yeah.
I mean,
It
he's
just
tall
makes it
enough.
clear that we
right?
promote this much. I don't think any other fan is watching us from their shower.
By the
and
way,
this is why we endorsed him officially for CSM 15.
Yes.
We love Brisk because he is so dedicated to us.
we gotta get out of this soon. I'm running out of hand sanitizer.
That's all right. You can literally just put Tito's in a bottle and then just
Hey,
like Tito's. on it
Eric,
and
you
fine.
don't have to call it hand sanitizer on this show. We know that it's lube.
Well, you know,
Yep, he said it.
you know,
It's
Hey,
out
what-
in the wild now.
I married
Brisk
her
in the
for a
shower,
reason,
that-
so. What?
Who doesn't love a bit of Brisk in the shower?
Brisk in the
Come on.
shower. Brisk in the shower. It's like, you know, hashtag Brisk in the shower.
Brisk is also developing quite a nice beard.
Is he? Is he?
See,
I
if you-
shaved.
if you-
I shaved, and then it feels like it's growing faster now.
See, like, Eric, you're kind of going for the handlebars look.
I've always kind of had this. You know why it's looking like that? Because it's turning gray, and it's starting to look different on camera. See, look, it's starting to turn gray right there and right there. Terrible. Very sad.
A little bit of that salt and pepper. You need a less stressful lifestyle, Eric.
I need that what is that? That beard stuff that, you know, they comb in and it colors your beard, probably? No. Not gonna happen.
Can I just say, Mito, please don't even joke about that.
What? It gets worse, Eric. Thanks, Carneros. I have if I grow my beard out, right? Like it's all black, but there's 3 dots right here on my chin, and it's gray. It's just gray beard hair, and I was like, oh man.
Wow, check the footage.
The footage? Oh my god. We're not going to do this, but yes, that's good. I like the tile, by the way, Brisk. I like that. That's fantastic tile. I might have done something.
The
up
tiling
top,
is
though.
quite nice.
I might have gone up with the tile all the way though, and done the whole.
Well, yeah, but then you've got to start tiling on an angle, and that's just awkward. And then you have the question of, do you tile the ceiling?
Yes, you tile the ceiling,
And
then
it's
you
just
put in,
like-
then you put in one of those giant rain showers. That's what you do. That's what I do.
Oh, see, those are nice.
Yeah.
mean,
Actually,
the one
does anybody see?
Lisa Power.
Hey, look
Ooh,
who's
hey,
here.
Soft.
Hi.
Soth.
Is Soth cutting in and out for anyone else?
He is. He's cutting in and out for everybody.
What?
I couldn't even take a second.
What?
I couldn't even make sense of that.
What was that word, Soth? Come on.
And by the way, chat, no, not a chocolate rain shower. And I was going to actually go something with my hat here next, but I want to go back through here and say 15 months for Stregak on Twitch Prime. So thank you very much, Bargos. Thank you for the 24 months. And I'm going to scroll back and see if there's anybody else that I missed. And there isn't. So thank you for those subscriptions. Those are most enjoyed. Since we got on this topic of showers, this is not a topic we normally go on to. But I will tell you, okay?
We have normal topics on this show.
I was about to say.
The best shower that I have ever been in is at the I had the privilege once or twice to play golf at Oakmont Country Club, And Oakmont Country Club has the best showers under the sun, bar none. It is like you are under a freaking waterfall. There is so much water coming on you. It's fantastic. Most excellent. Just,
You know it's going to be a good shower when, like, it's not just like a shower thing. It's like the whole thing's a wet room.
Yeah, it is like, it's...
That's when you know you've kind of leveled up.
That was a level up. That is a known thing. Straight.
Yeah. Now.
So
kind of. We can kind of.
How's Sother Hills sound now?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's better.
Much better.
It's better.
Are you
Do I-
using push to talk?
By the way, Soth, I'm sorry.
That might be your issue.
You're a little late. Mrs. Eric has already come from the garage, and you don't get to hear the squeaky door today. Sorry.
I mean, what happens if she needs to go back out? Like,
I mean, I can ask her to go back out.
But that only happens if Soth asks very nicely.
Yeah.
he has to say please and thank you, which we all know is it's very much a challenge for Sothersil.
Or you fucking out there?
Okay, no, that wasn't any better. Like, Soth, what have you done?
I don't know.
Can we cover pause warfare? Can we cover pause warfare?
See,
for a minute?
we heard that perfectly fine. You just have to shout like Soth.
Don't tell him to shout. He'll get angry.
I love when he shouts and he's angry. It's like my favorite thing.
Oh, is that what does it for you, Eric?
Yeah.
Brisk in the shower doesn't, but Sothersil's
Brisk
yelling.
in the shower. Brisk in the shower. No.
Hey, I want to get the hashtag brisk shower trending.
Hashtag brisk. No, I don't think we want to.
People will start using it without even realizing what it's for. They just think, oh, quick shower, fair enough.
Hashtag
look.
hashtag brisk shower.
We were like, what did I just walk into?
I mean,
Isn't it where he should put the nerds remember to shower and make it a meme?
You know what?
That should be our tagline for the show.
You
oh God, what did I just walk into?
Well, I may have a stash of food and goodies behind me, but I had just before the show, like Brisk. Brisk is showering, getting ready for Meta Show, probably, right? Getting ready. I do that right before this show too, because I get up real early in the morning, just come down here and do whatever, and then I get ready for the show. I was like, I smell like baby powder right now, just so you guys know, because my deodorant is now baby powder flavored, apparently.
that's a bit weird.
I mean, I use that word.
It's a bit strange.
By the way. So, because, I don't know.
Do you enjoy? Does your wife enjoy the kind of baby powder?
I don't know.
Is there a reason for this?
Normally, I have man scent, good stuff, but apparently,
you man scented.
Must be
Eric,
short.
Eric Mann.
Must
he
be
has
the
man
bottom
scent.
dregs of the deodorant. I mean, geez. I mean, what was left in the deodorant now? Baby powder. I mean, seriously? Stuff I do for my wife. I swear to God.
So it is your wife that likes
She buys
the powder
everything.
scent.
What do you think? I go shopping? Do you think I bought any of this behind me? No. It's all my wife.
That's a little bit sexist there, Eric. Like
she does all
Come
the
on.
cooking.
Jesus Christ, Eric.
She does all the washing of the clothes. For
Are you just a layabout?
Well,
Truth is, she controls the money.
No, she doesn't actually. I mean, I wouldn't care if she did. To be honest with you, I don't. No,
Just as long as Eric has his snacks in his office, he doesn't care.
As long as she brings me my snacks, I'm good. No, I don't know. Well, number one, you don't want me washing clothes because I will change them colors, probably.
Yeah, right. You just have to avoid doing it.
Secondly, if Eric starts shopping,
cook.
he'll start panic buying, and then you'll you'll come back with really random shit.
I do. No. Well, I'm not allowed to go grocery shopping.
If Eric were allowed to go grocery shopping, he'd come back with snacks and he'd come back with craft beer, and that'd be about it.
No, actually,
I mean, that's
come back
not a
with
bad shot.
a bunch of stuff, right? I come back, I sit there and start deciding to cook meals, right, and things, because I do enjoy cooking. But, my wife goes grocery shopping. She literally grocery shops for like 2.5 hours in the same store. Okay. She's got a giant binder, organized all these coupons. Okay. And she'll be down the aisle, and this is the area for that aisle, and she will pick out the coupons and buy what she's buying. Very organized. Very, very good at that. Me, I'm like, what's a coupon? Oh, yeah. We need a bunch of oranges. Oh, look, they've got steak on sale. Steak, I come back. She's like, what are you doing? Why did you buy this stuff? I'm like, So
you're just bad.
I'm not allowed to go. She's very organized. She's very good. She does great things. I have no complaints, and I really don't do the wash because I will destroy the wash, and it's just better that I don't. But we have 3 kids, so there's wash getting done every single day.
So much like the technical difficulties for the show that happen every single week.
Yeah.
You just can't touch a thing without breaking it.
I break everything. Actually, I have a son that does that. Number two, we called him the Destroyer. Everything he touched, he destroyed. If there was
that sounds
say
expensive.
You had a spare toaster, he would dismantle the toaster and not
toaster?
know how to put I don't know, just he had a toaster.
You mean he didn't?
No, well, the thing is,
he didn't dismantle your primary toaster?
No, he didn't do that, thank God. But yeah, he would either break or take things apart and not be able to put them back together.
You just need to learn how to put things back together again. You just need to be look, it's not a complete failure. You just need to kind of understand how to put it back together again.
There you go.
Oh, see,
does he just dismantle it more though as he's trying to put it back together, right?
Yeah. By the way, I want to address J-Dub Slaw.
I mean, unless you're talking about rapid dismantling, in which case, I don't think that can really be put back together again.
No. By the way, guys,
it's one of those things where you put it back together and there's always screws missing. You put it back together and the heating element is missing when you put the toaster back together. The heating element is just left over outside.
You just missed a screw on the heating element and it falls against the bread. By the way, I openly say I have the best wife ever. She is amazing. By the way, if I'm in here for a long fleet and eve or something like that, and it's through dinner, she will actually bring me dinner into my office. She's that nice, super nice. She'll forget to bring me a drink, but she will bring me dinner.
You get food, but you get drink.
Okay, we have.
Don't look at
We have very dry food. Let's just say something's very dry or very salty, right, or something like that, right? And she will not bring me something to drink, and I'll be like, I need something to drink.
I mean, would you turn around for a moment?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Do
you want to see the stuff behind me?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's apocalypse supplies.
You drink. Look behind you.
There you go.
I don't have a drink. Oh, look, lots of drink.
Also,
am I good now?
You're good.
I'm. Yeah, but
by the way, there's 5 cases of water, and actually
5.
The only thing here actually for our household, to be honest with you guys, it's the toilet paper. I had to go up in the toilet paper stash and pull it down. This all sits over there in the corner of my office. And by the way, there's 2 more cases of Gatorade, another case of these, two more of these. We got some Hostess Twinkies and cupcakes, fruit snacks, beef sticks. Those are all for the Amazon folks. So that is, it's not really for us here at the house, guys.
We've got to circle back to the CSM topic here.
Okay,
because there's some stuff going down in Twitch chat right now, and I am not happy with it. One, Me Too was talking about or Mito, however the fuck.
Mito.
We need to know if Brisk is gay for Jay before voting for him for CSM. 1, everyone is gay for Jay, even if they protest that they are not. 2.
Hold on, Derek.
This is
the worst bit is the second.
I mean, I'm so gay for Jay that I even have this voice. So
yes, I will admit that the second bit is the worst bit there, Bard Ghost, because he needs to see or hear Brisk saying it, or his votes go to Lolmeca. And I mean, like,
Lolmeca's not around.
We try not to reference Lolmeca on this show, but seriously, if you vote for him for CSM, you are just a fucking moron.
Well, you're throwing away your vote because he's not on. But even so,
the last time I could kind of understand it, Olmeca was he was the counterculture candidate. He was the anti-establishment thing. And over the course of the CSM minutes this year, he's just proved himself to be a fucking moron. So, if you do that, I'm sorry, but rest in peace.
Look at that.
And there we go. He says it.
I wanted to.
There we go.
Risk in Twitch chat. Of course, he's gay for Jay. Everyone is gay for Jay.
My boys don't even play Eve, and if they came in here, they would sit there and say, "Yeah, I'm gay for Jay. Everybody's gay for Jay. Everybody loves Jay."
Jay's already posted.
True. They'll go sit there.
Jay is the great confuser.
My wife will go, What are you people saying? Why are you all gay for Jay? We're all just laughing.
I mean, the answer is obviously, have you met the guy?
No, I haven't. Doesn't really matter. Only online, like chatting and in the same voice chat thing and stuff like that. That's
you have to get your gay for Jay card.
My what? There's a card. Can we buy something?
I don't fucking know. Just making shit up.
We gotta make them now.
No, Jay has to make them and hand them out.
Karma Fleet, Best Fleet. He just posted pictures out of his shower. I'm pretty sure that's Brisk.
Well, he posted them on Discord.
We're not letting anybody see them. It's in staff only.
So the question is, do you really trust that I am soft for so?
We might have
to yell at you a bit more to
No, there's a simple way that Brisk can fix this. Brisk is live on video on the Meta Show tonight. So Brisk just has to work in the fact that he's gay for Jay live on the Meta Show, and people will have no excuse. And it will be it will be wonderful to clip that and include that in perhaps an election trailer, Brisk.
I'd love to make it. I'd love to make it a thing on this show for basically it's like a challenge Brisk thing, like for every single day for every single week, like we challenge Brisk to be able to slyly slip in a line into the Meta Show somehow, way, shape, or form.
Also,
is this like a 10-day Facebook challenge, like the 10-day Brisk challenge, 10-week Brisk challenge, or is that what we're going to do in here?
I think it'll be funny. Like if Brisk's up for it and everything, but yeah.
Funny, also, can somebody seriously explain to me how the links in Twitch chat thing works? Because apparently, months ago, I was told that people who are Twitch Prime subscribers could post links, but J-Dubs was there trying to post a link to his Reddit thread, and it got fucked. So what's going on there?
I believe it's no longer Twitch Prime subs after some stuff that got changed by Twitch ages ago.
So why can you
mods can still do permit?
There is that as well.
Oh,
yeah, I just didn't see it.
So if you need to, you can just do that.
J-Dubs LOL, J-Dubs blah, 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 blah. Forget it. Jay. He just subbed tier 1, so thank you for that sub. And Soth 1 sub with Prime 4 months. Oh my god, Soth are so angry enough to prove my identity. That's
so yeah, talking about actual Eve stuff.
Hold it. Brisk says, "Here's my trick."
What the fuck, man? We're not even halfway through the show, and you're trying to talk about Eve.
We are almost exactly halfway through the show.
Yeah, but we're not there yet.
But nobody wanted to talk to it at the 15-minute mark.
Right. Nah, the pause warfare thing is a big story, so we've got to save that for our end hit piece.
Okay.
Yeah. Then what if we run out of time?
Because
we never run out of time. Come on.
That'll be Dirk's final thing.
Last week we were here for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but there was no meta show.
Was it 2.5?
Yes, it was 2.5, nearly 3.
We started going into how to build a PC.
We
Fuck's
did.
sake.
I mean,
Oh, you know what?
People don't know.
There will be that show eventually, right? You know, building Eric's PC and buying it, right? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Eve, I got some news.
All right.
Oh, it's hot
That
pass,
are
so
the
yeah.
most vague news ever, because I don't want to throw a CCP under the bus here.
I love fake news.
You kind of do.
It's my best kind of news.
Yeah, you know I do. The community team has been looking for people to test out tournaments.
No.
No, don't get your hopes up.
Soth, I'm gonna hit you with a hammer in a minute. Like,
I mean,
no, we are not
really-
having false hope in this channel. Fuck you.
There has been
said
to make this clear. There has been no mention of a certain tournament where alliances participate.
No,
mention
there
at
is
all.
no false hope. Because I want the Anger Games back. I want, like, the Event League back. No false hope.
I'm going to say the standard. Don't trust anything till it's in a dev blog.
Also,
I'm gonna
don't trust anything, even if it's in a dev blog.
I'm gonna be
Okay, until it's in the patch notes.
No. You don't trust anything till it's live on the server.
Here you go.
True.
Well, it wouldn't be live on the server since this is like happening on Thunderdome.
Exactly. You don't trust anything till it's live on the server.
So you never trusted.
I never really trusted Thunderdome. I could spawn in, like, Komodo BPCs on Thunderdome. So, you know.
Well, you still can.
Like, that was funny, actually. The fact that, like, behind the scenes, while we were practicing for the AT, people in the GSF AT team actually spawned in a Komodo BPC and built a Komodo on Thunderdome. That was fun. That was a fun byplay.
Hey, like, anytime you would do, like, a tournament on Thunderdome, 90% of people's time would go into doing random shit, and 10% would go into preparing for the tournament.
What, you mean like my wonderful Megathron Federa issue fit that requires a 6% power grid implant?
Or my fastest ship in the game that went 100,000 meters per second and nearly crashed the server when I put the MWD on the first time.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Alright, so we had a serious question in Twitch chat about CSM members are not rerunning. Which ones? So we know for a fact that Steve Renukin is not rerunning. Rip Steve, honestly, like, it would not have surprised me if CSM 15 had never happened, because we cannot have a CSM without Steve Renukin at this point. I don't know what it's going to look like. It will be terrifying.
There'll be a cutout.
He's not doing it because he's
Dunk's
leaving the
not
game
running
or
again.
anything, is he?
Like, Steve isn't leaving the game. He's just, like, busy in real life and that whole deal. And yeah, Dunk's not running again because he doesn't want to get, like, jaded, and he likes enjoying the sausage too much to be exposed to too much sausage making.
Okay.
That sounded incredibly gay.
I don't know that we can even recover for that. We're probably going to get demonetized for that. Holy
well,
shit.
we have to get demonetized for something. It's push to talk.
This is not open comms.
If we make money, it's a fucking miracle.
We don't. I mean, it's not that we make.
We don't believe in the concept of money.
Yeah. By the way, we make zero money from this audience. There's no money coming our way. We just do this because we like it.
I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the fucking lols.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
Nice hat.
So yeah. Anyway, Eve talk. Now that we've whiled away another 5 minutes just for fun, how many people watched the latest Eve Pulse video?
I
Seriously?
saw like
with the Icelandic president. Yeah.
I saw the Icelandic president. I was like, I ain't watching this.
This came out yesterday. How many people watched it, including Twitch chat? Like, just throw a Y in Twitch chat if you watched the latest Steve Pulse video.
I mean, I kind of have to because, you know, Corpy is like in it and he has to sort of like die every time. So
All right. For those of you who watched it, how many of you thought half the video being a rambly section from the Icelandic president was kind of weird? And how many of you thought what he was saying was even weirder?
I don't know, like, I thought it being, like, super rambly made it seem more honest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying it wasn't honest. I'm just saying
it was
super
rambly.
Weird as fuck, though, right?
Yeah,
not more weird than what we've had before. I'm pretty sure that he's actually done commenting for us before.
The thing is, he was, I think last year, he was meant to come to FanFest last year and do a speech, but that got delayed or cancelled in some way, shape, or form for some reason. So I think
then, as he says, it was supposed to be this year's FanFest, which obviously...
No, he mentioned that his wife was due to give a speech at FanFest this year. He didn't say he was.
Well, they both were. I believe she was supposed to introduce him, and then he was... But yeah, like, it's... I didn't mind it. It was weird at first, and yes, he did seem a bit rambly, but, you know, it seemed pretty honest.
Karamancer brings up a really, really important point, though. Karamancer brings out a really important point. Like, you know, talking about Floki of Iceland, right? Well, Floki wasn't of Iceland. He was a character in Vikings.
God,
and did you see?
No. You're gonna get Caleb started in a minute.
Crazy.
You're gonna get Caleb started in a minute.
No. I'm only joking.
The first leader of Iceland was actually a woman, right? It was a queen. So I'm just gonna say, make Puncturis president. Thank you very much.
Puncturis would be good.
She was just like cute, cool.
Well, I mean, up until like what?
She will make
10
everything
years ago.
In the, like
Iceland was still like a Danish dependency.
No comment.
The bacon wasn't as good though.
Danish is just a donut without a hole, right?
Yes, Caleb, you are now a donut without a hole. Congratulations.
Is this why I can't join the initiative?
That's I forget which Stallone movie that's from. He's like walking, he's like blah blah blah, and he goes in Danish. It's just a donut without a hole. Sorry.
It's not really though.
No, it's not at all.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good point by Relic in Twitch chat. Like, weirder is the mobile Plex market. Like, the fuck?
We've known this is coming for a while, though.
We've known this is coming from Bughost. I never expected it to actually be finished. I'll be honest.
Fair, and it seems,
you know,
I don't know how to put it.
What's the point?
Less of a thing than it was planned to be, right? It was originally supposed to be a completely open Plex market for anyone.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Now it's just
Jita, and yeah.
Can I ask
how many
question?
You always, Eric. This place is a wonderful safe space.
So there was I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, they were talking about, big changes in Jita. We're gonna change the skin on the marketplace in Jita and all that stuff, and make it gianter and bigger and all this stuff. They were
just turning into a little bit of a bespoke kind of Fortizar. That's all they're doing.
Can somebody figure out what link Chiromancer is trying to post and moderate that perhaps, because I'm sure it's perfectly neutral.
BattleNet Balance Wallet was a thing in 2013. He should have done it by now. That's all. He didn't say anything bad. It's just BattleNet's in there. Let me see if I can undo him or let that.
See, he's got a BNet balance, so
please don't undo him. Please just undo the moderation.
I mean, why would you want to undo someone?
It almost sounds like Soft actually moderated him. It's like, no, don't do that.
I don't.
It'll undo all my work.
I can't open up and show his.
Well, we know what he said now. It's fine.
It's part of a long-term plan that I think it's a little bit of a pie in the sky dream of Hilma's, right? It's the whole virtual currency thing and getting Plex to a point where it has. It's basically going to be like a backed cryptocurrency, if I understand what he's kind of trying to do. It's in the small presentation video he did.
I was literally about to say in before Plex becomes a blockchain.
There you go.
I mean, he's made some
generated
comments.
by a blockchain. You're investing in it, and you can kind of grind it by playing the game, but it's not going to be something that requires like a million graphics cards. And of course, if you're multi-boxing, it does a little bit, but it does make sense to have a virtual currency that is usable and backed by real utility.
Hold on, Caleb.
Cryptos right now don't have any backing at all. They have no more value than what you put in them. It's basically a scam.
Welcome
So
to money, Caleb.
I feel like we're looking down the precipice of a perpetual black hole talking about fucking markets and economy.
Isn't that just
and
the show?
blockchain and shit.
I mean,
Hold
the
on,
moment we allow Caleb to comment on economy, like everything's gone to shit anyway.
I hate to try and catch this before it goes down into Caleb's preferable kind of area.
Right, I'm just gonna say something, right? So is the new crypto mining, if we get a Plex as a cryptocurrency, just going to be taking my Rorquals out into field, and that's going to be the new use for them?
No,
because I am so in.
Redistributed. The value is still just redistributed. You still have to actually put money in in CCP's pocket to actually generate a Plex. But the point is that it's like saving up in a universal currency. So it's not a crypto at all, but it is a virtual currency, and it's a virtual currency with actual value.
So, Bard Ghost.
Yes.
Just to clarify, is what you're looking for the ability to use your excavators on asteroids and instead of getting resources, get microplex?
Yes. Yes. I would be so in for that.
Mine the microplex.
Well, it's a slightly legal RMTing, right? It's legalizing RMT, and it's similar to what.
He said the word.
You guys remember the kind of the random kind of what the fuck was the mechanic? They had a mechanic in one of the exploration sites where it would basically fire off like jet cans, and you had to go and like grab it before it disappeared.
Oh yeah.
Right? Can you imagine that? Like you're mining, and like you'd get like all your normal shit when you're mining, right? But like the thing is, in order for people to not AFK it all the time, right? What you have is every so often you have like a bonus thing that just fires out, and it's like a little jet can, like that flies off and disappears after a set number of seconds, and in it's like a microplex.
So
you have or a random amount of microplex.
Can someone wake me up when we're done talking about mining?
Okay, so let's actually.
I'm just making random shit up.
Can I go back to a slightly earlier point? Not this mining, just pre all of this with the talk about the app, right? Someone did point out that it possibly is an attempt to pull Plex Market back from Perimeter into Jita.
Yeah, it is.
Because yes, this is solely Jita for Plex Market, not Perimeter.
The reason that CCP
that's probably the intention from CCP side.
Whether or not it is the design intention and whether or not it is a good thing for them that they are going, you know what, that this is yet another reason to do it. Of course it's another reason for them to do it. When people trade Plex and Jita, they get more taxes back that they can sink via NPCs compared to when it's traded in a Citadel, when it's traded in the Keepstar or whatever. Of course it's a reason for them to do it.
But the app only works on Mega accounts.
Yeah, that's a fair point as well. It is only people who are subscribed who can do this. If you're playing EVE for free, you aren't going to be able to trade from your mobile.
That feature was so exciting, I actually legit yawned.
Exactly.
So as a feature, it doesn't do anything. It's exactly as useless as the gambling thing. No one's going to use it.
Well, I mean, we all knew the gambling thing was. So hey, we all knew the gambling thing was bad as we walked into it because people playtesting it on Singularity could break it in 5 minutes. Normally, it takes these players at least 15 minutes to break.
It wasn't
something.
even that, Dirk. It wasn't even that. Right? The reason why things like
Stragac, no.
the reason why they worked being player run was because the people who ran it liked getting ISK because they wanted ISK. As a CCP doesn't give a shit about whether they get ISK from it or not. It's a sync, yeah, but no one's kind of no dev at CCP is going. Oh yeah, the new lottery thing's kind of brought me so much new ISK. Like no, I don't give a fuck.
This gets destroyed.
Like the reason why people running the lotteries like previously like wanted to get ISK. And they realized that, like, if they did all of these, like, various different giveaways and various different kind of, like, events and stuff, they got more risk, so they did it. Like, so having it run by CCP is the surefire way of making it fail, unfortunately.
So,
it's just that thing.
Didn't I say HyperNet would last less than 90 days when it first was released?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it even still in the game?
It's still in the game.
It's beta predictions, I will admit.
I just want to point out, CCP haven't managed to take pauses out, and they've been trying to do that for 5 years. Of course they're not going to rip out.
You only have
segue.
And yeah, I am going to segue here because people in Twitch chat have been asking us to talk about this for 45 minutes, and I've taunted them and taunted them.
Okay,
we should let them.
Let's give them the money shot then.
All right, here's one thing.
Did you say
is anyone surprised here that the biggest fight of the year so far was not over a citadel?
Soth, this isn't the biggest fight of the year. This is the biggest fight in more than 18 months.
Yes.
This is the biggest fight to happen since 2018.
All right.
Circa 2020, Aussies are still giving more content than Citadels.
I think you really framed it up. Since what year again? The biggest fight since what year?
2018.
Oh.
Nearly exactly 2 years, because you've got to remember the X-47 fights, the UALX fight, they happened in like July and August. So we are talking about nearly 2 years since the last circa trillion-esque fight.
Yeah, well,
and it's happened over
the
a
next
pause.
Closest to this is
So what was it about this pause that was so important? I mean, was it an R64 pause at least? Right?
No. Because you can't mine the pauses, can you?
It was a Titan safe pause.
Yeah, it had a Titan in it because it was being used for bridging.
Oh, okay. Big deal.
But by the way, emphasis on was, because we did destroy it. So we got the objective.
It looted it. McLeod got to be a rabid fucking crab.
Now you're just assuming
mad.
shit.
There's still no video of the boom boom.
Doug, you are just assuming shit now.
I'm just trying to get you to bite. I'll be honest.
I wasn't even there.
Nor was I.
Okay.
Hey, is that a
yeah?
I was at work.
Is that a hat or a diving platform you've got going on there?
So by the way, guys, the point of this is we want to keep pauses, and pauses are so much better. The point of this is
there is
the design of Citadel is fundamentally wrong because it doesn't promote fights.
There is
the design of Citadels, right? Let's go back back to when they were introducing and like designing Citadels and shit like that, right? The design of Citadels, right, basically tread the line between pauses and stations, because for whatever reason, a lot of people wanted destructible stations, right? And in the along that same time, essentially CCP were trying to make Citadels as a replacement for pauses, and at some point someone at CCP decided, you know what, let's just combine the two, which was a fucking retarded idea.
No, it was a perfect solution to create a hybrid. The problem was they didn't land they didn't land this design in a place where it actually creates content. It
doesn't create content. And the other thing is, like, there was actually a lot of content, a lot of like really good content that comes out of capturing something, and now we can't capture it. Like, if there is no way that I can capture anything, like any structure.
It was the worst of both worlds, right?
It really was. Like, the idea, the inspiration and the concept was great. I loved the concept, especially when they presented it at FanFest, McLeod. Like, you can't tell me you didn't look at that concept of, like...
At some point between when, CCP Ytterton, like, literally, like, left, and like, Citadel's coming out.
Seagull as well.
Something happened between then, like, that just fucked it all up.
I just thought of something. And it was something you guys said, right? One of the cool things about a station was, 1, you could disable the services. Mm-hmm. 2, you could capture it and keep people from being able to redock, right? Mm-hmm. Think if you put the mechanic in that you could capture the Citadel and you could do all that stuff you did with the station, like shoot and disable services and kill things in process and destroy all that stuff. And then when you took over the Citadel, you could do things, like pull the rigs out just to be a jerk, right? If you wanted to. Yeah, and then discard the Citadel and leave.
The thing is, stations were never really that important. The only stations that were important were stages.
I mean, I don't want to like, take a massive steel-toed boot on that particular comment that you said, Soft. But there was like a small scuffle about, a station. I think you probably heard of it, called BTAC-R.
That was not over a station.
It was over SOV.
It was over
SOV, but it was mostly over the station.
No, it was not. It wasn't about the station at all. What happened was
the SOV dropped. The SOV dropped.
The SOV dropped.
Right. But the thing is, the SOV dropped because the bill wasn't paid, yes. But the thing that wasn't the oh my god moment wasn't, the SOV dropped. It was, we can literally shoot straight through every single reinforcement cycle of the station that PL had all of their shit in. Yeah, that was the thing that caused BTAC-R to happen. And that was the thing that was the catalyst for all of the Northern Force, all of the PanFam forces to basically, bring in the fucking what was it? The
what cost them
that they actually have.
What cost them to bring in everything? What cost them to bring in everything was an escalation cycle. They didn't drop everything at once.
Yeah, they brought in an escalation cycle.
Drop everything right at once.
Yeah, that's true. But they brought that escalation cycle not because they lost SOV, but because they needed to get the station back.
No, when they dropped the first caps, they were actually in the process of dropping a new SBU. Not SBU, sorry, a new iHub.
I don't know, they didn't have SOV.
Well, yeah, because the iHub was gone.
No, the bill wasn't paid, so we blew up the TCUs that were on mining.
I really like the pause mechanic when the shields go up. Just saying.
Yeah, there was.
I mean, that's what I mean though by it was the worst of both worlds. It didn't take any of the decent stuff from a station. It didn't take any of the decent stuff from a pause. Yeah. Right? It was this hybrid of the worst parts of each.
Here's what would have made pauses good. Put the modularity of arming them like Citadels, and then just leave them out there.
The issue is that CCP wanted to get rid of passive money generation.
They also wanted to get rid of pulse codes just as a point, and that's a good thing.
They wanted to get rid of the shield.
How many years ago was that?
Thing.
Sorry.
They've wanted to get rid of pulse code since pulse code was introduced, and the guy who developed it did he die or did he just leave?
He unfortunately died.
He did. Yeah. But yeah, like that code was basically uncommented, and so they wanted to replace it.
Developers can actually look at code and read it and figure out what the hell.
You have no idea.
Oh, dude,
not this stuff.
Pause code is so intertwined with everything.
We aren't talking.
Started as an application developer, right?
So, Eric, we aren't talking about a few hundred lines of code. We are talking about interconnected thousands of lines.
Yeah, this is the work of multiple people for at least a year just to try and figure out what everything does. Even now, they haven't been able to take out the pause code because they don't know everything that will just like die when they kill her, and that's unfortunate.
They tried it once, right? And the undock buttons everywhere just disappeared for the day.
Yeah, for no reason. Like literally, it's one of those things, Eric. Like pause code was built into the system, like
I know,
like on day one of when they built the game, and it was designed in a haze of craziness and like just get it done.
In a smoke-filled room.
Yeah, they weren't thinking of.
I did just see that. That's hilarious. I love that. Can we just take a quick moment to appreciate the funniness of NC never got that button back?
Hey guys, I'm just saying. Yeah, I get it. Millions of lines of code and complex. I get it.
It would not surprise me if pause code was responsible for the boot INI incident. In fairness,
yeah. Seriously, pause code aside, pause functionality is crap. The fact that structures have not landed in the right place is tragic because potentially it was the best idea CCP has ever had next to moon structures, right? And moon mining. It's just that again, it was rushed. They didn't really focus on what it would have of effects, and they completely lost the idea of modularity. Right? They stated that completely.
It wasn't rushed.
Yes,
they haven't finished the stable of structures, and we're 5 years down the line. It wasn't rushed.
The initial rollout was rushed. Like there was a point between when the former team was basically that was headed up by Utopian, basically kind of got gutted and then replaced, and then the people who replaced them basically rushed out the initial rollout of Citadels, and something fucked up happened there.
And the irony is that the people that were supposed to actually give the feedback of what was important features pretty much, in my opinion, gave the wrong feedback. It was very much the null groups that tried to put in a priority thing of what was more important and what features should be in structures. And they completely lost the plot because they forgot what was the original intention of it. So they downplayed the whole incentive of actual structures being part of something you want to fight over, because they fundamentally didn't want to fight over them or lose them. They just wanted the feature out there so they could start building out their infrastructure. So this is a self-made self-harm. This is the null entities focusing on their own interests instead of the actual game interest.
I'm not necessarily sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody kind of said, don't deploy these. They'll be scattered.
Real quick,
everywhere.
I'd like to ask, where do you think the 18-minute reinforcement window came from?
I mean, Pando's pretty spot on in Twitch chat. Nobody from Null asked for this. Like, this is basically exactly the same sort of scenario as happened with the T3 rework, for example, as happened with the idea of an FC ship. People are talking about these ideas, and then you end up going CCP.
Pando is a little bit full of shit, right? He says
we are always promised something very different.
There was a very serious feedback and group actually being part of the whole rollout and the design of this shit. And the fact that Pando was not in there was by choice.
No, Caleb.
He could have given feedback as much as he would have liked. And the point was that the people that were in there representing Null were very much the industrialists. And
Caleb, there's a big difference, Caleb. There's a big difference, Caleb, between a bunch of people saying, "Oh, we would really like to have destructible stations," right? And then CCP kind of going, "Oh yeah, we'll roll that into some other thing that we're doing." Like,
all right,
no, we didn't ask it to be rolled into some other thing.
Here.
We asked for destructible stations stations to be completely replaced by some
let's put it this way,
like middle of the road shit.
When they were shown to the null powers in the CSM, they all said, much like the Rorqual, don't do this. They'll be spammed everywhere, and it'll be hideous and horrible the way you've just designed them.
Yeah. I mean,
and
I
CCP
remember
said,
that.
We don't care. We're putting them out there anyway.
They told us that we would have player-built Stargate, and it ended up fancy jump bridges.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fancy jump bridges that aren't even particularly great, because you can't stop people going through them like you could with jump bridges. So there's no, like... If you get tackled, you have to fight or you die. You just go, you know what? Nah, fuck it, I'm out.
You know, worst of both worlds. You see a pattern here.
Exactly. Like, here we are with citadels that get spammed down. They take 7 days to kill. They have damage caps, so you can't just drop a bunch of dreads on them if you really hate them. Like, you've got to go through the grind, and so the dreads are worthless, the titans are worthless. You know, CCP are trying to rebalance capitals and super capitals as anti-structure platforms at this point.
The thing is, Brisk is saying, right?
Brisk is saying they act like this, but they don't. They have range restrictions, much like jump bridges have. And they also have soft restrictions, like jump bridges have. They don't act like fucking jump gates.
And we have to fuel them like jump bridges did.
And then
like gates.
That's what I'm trying to say. All the things that were discussed were not focused on how destructible they were, how costly they were to build, how much strain there was on actually launching these things. All of these things kind of got ignored, and same with things like asset safety. All the relevant points to making them something that would be challenged and destroyed in space were underplayed or ignored, or we just accepted CCP's very protective solution. And it was just a mistake from the null entities and from the focus group that they didn't ask for a serious discussion on where to balance this shit.
We did ask for a serious discussion of hell. Hold on. Can I read the original document? Can I take 20 seconds and read the original document that Aturbium wrote? Docking will still be available for the largest structures as long as you have the rights and your ship isn't too big for this kind of purpose. Cough, cough, we are looking at you, supercarriers and titans.
And now we have keep stars, which are largely just like, hey, they're a big fucking middle finger to everything at this point. You drop a you drop a titan. No, Jesus Christ. You drop a keep star, and basically the only significant point is, okay, if you want that keep star dead, drop a bunch of titans.
Hold on. Here's another one, Dirk. For the smallest structures, mooring will be the preferred option, replacing the force field. It will make your ship invulnerable and not being able to be bumped as long as you are in a specific radius. Of course,
this fucking wonderful.
When that is the case, yeah. But here's the greatest bit, right? The idea of mooring capabilities is that they are configurable and have a finite limit. So multiple structures will be required to house particularly large fleets.
Yeah, like this wonderful mooring idea
this
that's
is
been
what we
talked about.
For.
This is the thing. We've been talking
too
about
hard.
this
We can't
since
roll it out quick
2015.
enough.
Like,
Let's
this
just make it
mooring
infinite.
thing. Like, this is why we still have pauses. This is why we haven't reached full parity with pause functionality. Because you could drop a pause in half an hour and stick a Titan in it.
That's another thing as well.
A certain distance, but it goes down. It doesn't have any multipliers for hostile SOV in the same way that Citadels do. And it's a beachhead, but it's a very, very attackable beachhead because you can kill it in 24 to 36 hours at most.
Do you know this one, though, Dirk, though? I've just found another one. Asset safety wasn't even being talked about. When a structure is destroyed, all assets are moved into special containers. These containers will be put around planets, spread around the system. The duration which those entries stay in a log, remain
even more.
dependent
like
on the structure type.
It would be better, but like how it is in wormholes, basically.
Not just that, it would be spread about the system. It has to be scanned by the rightful owner, and the rightful owner has to come and get it. If it doesn't after that time, then it just disappears. I don't know if there was any intent to maybe let other people scan it after that time. But again, players docked inside the structure would be spread around the solar system, while moored ships would become vulnerable and up for grabs.
Like, literally, this is the thing. We players, we talk to CCP about grand ideas. We do. And we love this idea of let's really engage with an idea and talk about the details and figure out, like, this would be
great. I have this really strange feeling.
It was swallowed by the groups, right? Both the CSM and the focus group pretty much just swallowed this solution that CCP came up with asset safety.
I have this really strange feeling.
CCP ram it down our throats, Caleb.
I have this really strange feeling.
No one said that this is something we really need to discuss because we need to have some skin in the game.
Really?
No,
are you honestly that naive, Caleb?
I was in those focus groups. I was part of the people that actually wrote all the fucking articles about this when it was rolled out.
Okay, at that point, Caleb, where were you?
I was there.
You said no one was talking about it. You know, you're here saying it was the null groups. Where were you talking about this if you were in those channels, Caleb? Come on.
The priority was wrong. It was the completely wrong things that got prioritized by the player base. And CCP pretty much just rode along, right? They had these things that they insisted on bringing in, and they didn't get any meaningful feedback on, we need to change this. Of course, the things like pricing and how fast you can actually roll these things out, that was a problem that the CSM definitely pointed out. Everything else was very much nitpicking at things that, because we didn't know yet exactly where it was going to land.
I'd just like to say this, Caleb. Hang on, I'd just like to say this, Caleb. So you've heard what Bardghost has been talking, you know, like reading out what essentially was the plans from the team about this, right? Which is essentially what you guys were like developing, right? How did that go from there to sidetrack like crazy into what we have now? And I imagine, right, if a particular person called Celine would be listening, he would probably be feeling like he's seen and heard all of this before when, you know, basically when Dominion Sov was rolled out initially. Because Dominion Sov, when it was rolled out initially, was far and away completely different. Well, not completely different, but very different to what they were designing inside of CCP at the time. There was a whole lot more that was going to go into Dominion Sov before it was rolled out. But, you know, someone basically went, we don't have time. We just need to get something shipped out.
See, that's
so they cut a whole bunch of like extra stuff out of it and just shipped it.
CCP.
This sounds very much like what happened with Citadel.
Well, it sounds to me like what you're describing there is CCP gets halfway done with something and then never comes back to finish it.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Not quite.
Where's the iteration here? Citadel was a 2016 release. Citadel was a 2016 release.
I would say not quite, Eric. What CCP tends to do is they tend to go, well, we need to get a product out the door. So all the stuff that you still have that you're working on, you know, gets sidelined, put on the shelf. Okay. We go with what we can, and any like additional shit we'll just like patch over with like, you know, fucking band-aids, right? They ship it out, and then once they've shipped it out, they've plotted a course. They've gone down a route, right? And they can't deviate from that route. So they have to walk down that path and make it up as they go along, going in that direction.
I mean,
and when that direction is shit, then
over 16 or 17 years, all I see is the players go, CCP, if you do this, this is going to happen. And CCP ignores them, and then that thing happens. And then CCP goes, oh my god, that's terrible for the game. How do we let that happen?
I mean,
Orcs,
do you remember
Citadels.
when FuzzySoft got rolled out?
What?
Do you remember when FuzzySoft got rolled out?
Oh, yeah, I remember. That's when I started subbing less. But go ahead.
All of the null block, all of the FCs got together and sent an open letter to CCP.
I recall that open letter.
Yeah.
Explaining what the problem is, laying out multiple ways of fixing it, right? Mm-hmm. And all of them signed that. The bitterest enemies worked together because everyone hated it. And CCP took that open letter and laid it to the side for a year before they touched FuzzySoft.
Yes. So
do you remember
I
when
just want to read.
Went and invaded. Sorry, we went down and invaded a little area to tell everybody and show CCP how shitty FuzzySoft was.
Tiny little area called Providence, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
and I remember going down there, and I remember playing this, and I remember going, "Holy shit, this is worse than we thought." I don't want to play this.
And that wasn't that on the test server as well? They had test server kind of.
We did it.
They test served it first, and then Provi was live. Yes. I just want to read two more things from this though, quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one is they make it clear here that this is high-level concepts that have been developed alongside CSM input. So Caleb, what are you saying? Because clearly this is what the team and the CSM have come up with, which works. And then they've deviated so far from it. But I think the funniest line of all in this, if I can just scroll back to it, structure combat is more exciting as a goal. This goal ensures structures work well in asymmetrical warfare, being force multipliers in the area they can test to compensate for their static nature. We want structure combat to feel more like a ship combat between several parties and less like a static grind.
I kind of like
GG CCP, you knocked that one out the park.
Oh yeah, it's much more of a grind now. I mean,
it's also more static now.
Yeah,
because before, like with a POS, for example, you would still have the option of dropping like a bunch of faxes and wrapping against the damage, right? Mm-hmm. That option is gone.
On the opposite side as well.
Yeah.
The also the thing about it being potentially more static, like on a POS grid, like I'm just talking about not static in terms of the mechanics, but static in terms of the fight. On a POS grid, you can be on one side of the POS, and on the other side of the POS, the enemy fleet is there, and you can shoot across the POS. But if you maneuver around the POS, you can really do some incredible kiting. If you drop your, long-range Titans on one side of a Fortizar, and the hostiles are on the far side of a Fortizar, the hostiles are definitely going to have a hell of a time coming into you before they're in range, potentially, which means that you're just sat there picking them off.
The irony is that even though I don't fundamentally, I do kind of agree with Bart, what CCP did was they kind of messed up in what things to take from the old system and put in the new. There's a lot of examples of mistakes, and if you take the comment that you just read about they wanting it to be more like a ship instead, it's like that's exactly why they created these weird fitting things instead of the modular thing, right? And when you talk about the thing that POSes could be repaired, but stations you couldn't. So then they chose the fact that you couldn't repair them. It's like they took these two things and they hybridized them, where a lot of the choices made were the wrong ones. But fundamentally, the idea of creating a hybrid was the right solution. It's just that they forgot why they wanted to make a hybrid, and they messed up in so many singular points. The same with asset safety.
Here's the point I'm
something
trying
that
to
you
make,
can send to an NPC station. I'm totally opposed to that. I think you should be able to always send it to another structure, because that would bring in the feeling of this modular thing.
Right. Here's the issue with that. When you read this document from early 2015, it is a complete 180 of what we finally got. They started off with the right ideas with CSM consultation. They had it down perfectly. And somewhere in that, they did a 180 on everything that made it good.
But the came around not necessarily because of CCP. That it's a mistake to think that's the reason, because it's very much the feedback from CCP to the player base and to the CSM, and I'm pretty sure that many of those choices were made because players also asked for it.
If that's the case, Caleb, then why the fuck did Utopian leave CCP?
The thing is here that a lot of players came around and were like, this doesn't work with our niche gameplay. Wormholers were complaining it doesn't work for Wormhole. Low-sec players were like, oh yeah, this like we can't use this.
Is this about to be a hashtag collateral damage moment?
The thing is, CCP tried to please everyone with
exactly so.
one single structure.
And
right?
broke it instead.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened.
So this is where we get into like the whole pattern of behavior thing, because when it came to Tech 3 cruisers, we ended up, that there was a whole focus group deal. A lot of very smart people were involved in that focus group. We ended up with Loki's Online for like, what was it, 9 months, 12 months before they touched it?
We ended up with Thundercats Online for a while.
Thundercats.
It was an absolute domination. Like, it was exceptionally expensive, but it was literally like...
Not sure it was domination, but...
You saw a Tengu fleet on grid, and it was just like, yeah, you can kiss your whatever fleet you have goodbye.
Yeah, and then we had this whole idea of an FC ship, an anti-headshot ship. Now,
I'm not...
News for CCP, you can headshot a monitor. It's actually not that difficult when you get it right. And also, the sheer level of just rigidity that a monitor introduces. We used to have FC ships that were built out of anything and everything, and we still do have FC ships that are built.
You were flying.
Like, I have FC Eagle fits. I have FC Legion fits. Loki's, Tengu's. I even still have, saved in my Python, old FC Proteuses. And the Proteus, by the way, is worthless now as a result of the aforementioned Tech 3 cruiser rebalance. But, whatever. Collateral damage. And then, let's talk about command ships, which is Sothersil's most favorite topic when it comes to CCP reworks. How do you feel about the quote-unquote rework of boosting mechanics in command ships, Sothersil?
What rework of command ships? There was no rework.
It's almost as if CCP talks grand ideas.
And again, let's not make this all about shitting on CCP, because again, what Sothersil was pointing out...
You realize you're on push to talk, right?
No, but Soth pointed out the whole problem of too many cooks and too many attempts to cater to everyone, and especially the whole point of catering to the never nerfers, right? There's at least 3 examples of structure stuff and the way it ties into industry, especially, that was a complete mistake, right? The thing that they removed the star-based charters from fuels of structures in HiSec, that means that you have less of a dependency on the rest of the crew, right? The same thing with flattening requirements of standing. Complete never nerfer attitude. This whole thing, make things easier for me, make everything easier for me. Same with many industrialists would have said, oh, fine, you can solve the slot problem by just giving us infinite slots. And that's exactly what we got. Any industrialist with a little bit of a brain seeing structures coming out would have said, that's not a good idea, because then I'm not going to be able to fucking make money on this shit, right? We asked for slots being able to be rented out. If you then give us infinite, why the fuck would I ever do that? It's just... There's so many of these never nerfer examples of people saying, oh, just make it a little bit easier for us, just make it a little bit safer for us. And that's totally against what EVE is supposed to be. And it's very much the problem that happened.
Serious question for everyone on this channel. Where is ganking now?
Ganking's still a thing. It's not as much as a thing. It's nowhere near as a thing as it was previously.
Where is collective ganking now?
Absolutely dead.
I mean, I literally watched a thing where someone was going through, looking at a bunch of code ganking some miners in HiSec, like the other day. But it's not. I mean, it's kind of like it's not like a normal thing. Like, it happens, but it's it's atypical.
It's a fraction of what it used to be. It is. Now it's not just generally who's coming through an area and has something expensive. It's,
I mean, kind of.
It's kind of you go out hunting your target now.
The thing is, bud, like it was far more rampant. It was far more normal for it to happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
But it's reduced in size, scope, and scale. Like and like, you know, that's basically what it is. Like, it still happens, yeah, but it nowhere near as much as it used to.
It's got to be something really blingy, right? At this point, something
like either really blingy or the people who do it have held on to the ships for far too long, and they just want to fucking kill something.
So here's one fundamental issue I have with CCP for a while, and maybe you guys can follow me on this one. They have switched from, you know, balancing things around, you know, what is completely broken and just dialing the numbers a bit, to nowadays where they are like, hey, this is the use case we imagine this ship to be in, so we are gonna design it around that. So they've kind of gone from, we're just gonna throw things at the players and see what they do with it, to we want players to do this with it. And the same thing for
less sandbox, more on rails, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that is the underlying issue for pretty much 95% of all the problems we see in EVE. CCP trying to push people in a certain direction with their changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the thing.
They don't like unintended consequences. That's the thing.
Because if you think about it, we talked about how they wanted to cater to every kind of player with a Citadel. Old CCP would have just designed the Citadels, dropped them, and be, well, you have a problem with it, well, figure it out, right?
They wouldn't have looked at it as like, how can we make X, Y, or Z, like X, Y, and Z group happy? Like, they would have been like, okay, let's design this from an ecological standpoint, right, Caleb? They'd have gone, let's look at this and how this fits into the world, rather than how this makes people happy.
Right? They all feel flat and extremely difficult to aggress against, and that's a problem. I think they need to completely rebalance the whole thing. This is why I think we need something like Supers and Titans to be able to penetrate the damage cap, because at least that would be a bit of a change and putting some utility back in that. I think that the timers need to be nerfed massively, and I think that they need to consider whether or not we can put Strunt back in the game in a meaningful way. I'm not sure exactly how to do that because I don't deal with structures on a daily basis the same as people do in Null, but I do think it would be healthy if we can get something like that back. Maybe only for one of the timers, I don't know.
Just have a shield armor and like a shield and armor sort of Strunt bay.
Yeah, maybe the first timer having Strunt linked to that might work. I don't know. But then again, then you have the whole initiative and being able to aggress whenever you want. And then the whole thing of offlining services, I think that should definitely be a massive part of it. I think services should go offline already. Some services should go offline already at the first timer, and then the rest should basically go off at the second. There should be nothing left after that.
The issue there is you still don't have a reason to shoot Citadels.
Well, harassment is reason enough.
No, it's not.
It's really not when the systems that you're fighting are so bad that it makes you want to just quit the game.
Look at where we're at,
Caleb. Listen, back in the day when I would go and take a fleet out to take an R64, I would tell my fleet members, hey, we are doing this because it pays for our SRP, right? Mm-hmm. We are going to take this moon so that you guys can enjoy SRP. And that's why people joined Fleet. That's why people joined Stratops. Because
and the thing is, you weren't even wrong when you were telling them that. If you could take an R64 moon and hold it for like 3 days, by and large, the SRP of the fleets that you were taking to kill those moons were paid. If you held it for more than that, you were
something that was fundamentally a broken system. The semi passive income stream from these moon designs in the past was horrible, and structure-based moon mining is a lot better. The problem is CCP didn't land it in a way that makes it valuable, and it should have been a valuable commodity. And then the income stream of sovereignty holder and the alliances should be something more money-based that is basically trickling in from all the activity of the structures.
Well, they did.
It's a completely new ecosystem that they need to build, but they didn't finish it. They just left it hanging.
Well, they don't give the alliances the ability to tax people. So you had to say, well, nobody else can refine other than Alliance refining things, right? So they just made you work around their horrible design, right? I got to ask you guys, because I played in the beginning, under the passive income of pauses. What was so bad about it? I had a little group and we got together and we made income from pauses and running the reactions, and it was very interactive. And I get the R64 and all that stuff. We had those as Alliance, to take care of and things. But what's so bad about it? What was so bad about it?
There wasn't something bad about it. It was the fact that it is a strange one, Eric, because I can understand where you're coming from. A lot of the time when CCP is kind of looking at that kind of thing. And you got your squeak, by the way, Sloth.
Yeah, I know, that's soft squeak. She came in for you.
But a lot of the time when CCP is trying to design something, they're kind of looking at it should have something for the small groups and it should have something for the large groups. But they always design it and they always forget about Mal'Canis's law, which is also what's happened with Citadels.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing about pauses is because you could knock one down so quickly when a large group was deployed somewhere, right, and someone almost irrelevant basically hits one of their pauses, not like Black Legion coming in and hitting 17, 18 pauses or something like that. Just one random group that that no one's really heard of hits one pause, and they're like, do we undeploy all the way back? No. They can take that one pause. That's fine. And then that is a huge amount of money.
This was the thing as well.
A small group.
I point. Why didn't they land medium and large, similar to pause, when it comes to these things? That was the obvious choice. They just didn't.
Because they're bad at this.
Because they just went, we're just going to take the reinforcement timers and just apply it to everything because it's easier. Thought, because it's easier.
Do I have to refer back to the
because I've got to go home in 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna go back to the whole thing where Sothrisal was talking about CCP potentially coding a new tournament tool. The old tournament tool didn't die because it wouldn't have been, relatively quick and easy to fix. It died because they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to put in that effort and go that extra mile for that group of players. And as has been commented on this show many times, the tournament community is not, 200 guys. Overall, when you start talking about the Alliance tournament, when you start talking about the Anger Games, when you start talking about the EVE-NT leagues, when you start talking about all of the other tournaments that have happened, the tournament community is somewhere in the region of between, 1,000 and 2,000-3,000 players. Real people. Not all of them are diehards, for sure. There are some people who go, I don't play just for the tournament. I'll have some fun with the tournament and whatever else. But they didn't want to put in the effort to maintain the same level of provision. And this was the thing. CCP Logibro went above and beyond. CCP Ytterbium, when he wrote that document that Bargos has been quoting from today, went above and beyond. These are people who
Ytterbium basically thought out every scenario that he could think of and wrote it in there.
These are people who gave a shit down to the very core of their being and wanted to spend the time to really enhance this environment and the community and the way in which we all interact.
Mm-hmm.
And they are perpetually getting shafted. These people who care and want to do so much and have these grand ideas, they are perpetually being shafted by the business that they end up working for.
You can only what did my dad say the other day? I'm not paying you to aggravate me. And it wasn't to me, by the way. It was about somebody else, right? And think about that in terms of us as customers of this great game, right? We're not paying you to aggravate us. And eventually you aggravate us so much we stop paying you and leave. Right? So, you know, if you're not there,
I just want to.
If you're not there to solve my problem, when you look at somebody who's providing
if you're riding shotgun, Eric, if you're riding shotgun, right, and the person on you know with their hands on the wheel is driving towards a cliff, right, and you're there going, like, we have to fucking turn around or we're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
You're driving towards a cliff, and the other person's turning around going, look, you're not riding shotgun for just to aggravate me. Shut the fuck up. Like, what are you to do?
Hey,
can I just address what Dirk's also talking about in chat?
I want to address something here.
Yeah.
People are talking about, like, no one gives a shit about the AT. Here's the thing. What do you think? Are there more people who give a shit about Wormhole Life, or more people who give a shit about the AT? Because I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
I mean, not just that,
And
right?
Yet, CCP caves to the Wormhole people every single fucking time when they try to balance something. Every single fucking time.
Because up until the point where they like basically said, you guys can go play wherever you want and it's fine if people know about who you are in game. Up until that point, the only place that they could really play without actually being properly noticed in some way, shape or form were wormholes, dude.
Mm-hmm. I just want to get to a second side point of this, right?
Something mentioned about gambling, bringing gambling back, using maybe the Hypernet when it comes to something like AT, making us able to actually bet on things in game is a massively potential way forward when it comes to AT.
No
and
one
any tournament
likes the Hypernet. It sucks donkey balls.
Right. I'm jumping in here finally. Like, it's not
just do what we'll do and talk over each other.
I know, right? I know. Fuck you, Dirk. But it's not just, do people give a shit about, yes, the AT may have been boring, so on and so forth. It wasn't a huge achievement, what I'm reading, right? Anyone remember Skill Yourself or Volta or any of the other big name alliance tournament alliances that have had a massive impact on the rest of the game?
I remember
then
Skill Yourself.
Quit. They quit started because they got bored because there was no AT.
If I generally remember the
3,000 people gone.
Just if I generally remember the arc of Skill Yourself, they were a small group that formed an alliance simply to participate in the alliance tournament. Ended up having one of the largest Revenant only, and just for those who are listening and don't understand the concept of the Revenant, it is the single best run and gun super capital in the game. They specialized in hitting targets with their run and gun super capital fleet for a while until they got so big in nullsec they killed the largest, longest standing Russian renter coalition in Legion of Exdeath and the fuck, I don't even remember the name of the coalition.
They wiped out the entire DRF.
The Drone Region Federation.
Yeah.
A coalition, by the way, that had stood for more than a decade and then had fun. And then they decided that the nullsec engagement gameplay, the gameplay that they'd partaken in to annihilate that coalition, wasn't engaging anymore.
I think the important thing about everything that Dirk has been saying, even though I do want maybe something more esports oriented from CCP when it comes to tournaments, but when it comes to the actual tournaments we had, I think CCP needs to try and seriously look at and calculate the real activity that it generated. Because just like Soth said, when you look at actual activity generated in the game and value that changes hands and how many people are logging in to do training and all of those things, if you actually put some work into figuring out the metrics of the AT, I think CCP would find, just like they did with Vortex, that they have completely underestimated how much activity that stuff makes.
Well,
even though there's not that many viewers, it's not the viewers that are important. It's all the people participating, all the supply lines, all the training, all the potential shenanigans and the backstabbing and the spy games and the spillover into actual real conflict. If you start looking at all of those metrics, I think CCP will find that not only is the AT valuable, it's maybe one of the more active things in the game.
It hasn't been for a long time.
Was, yes. Wasn't there also a few wars that, as you say, Caleb, there were a few wars that basically started off the back of an AT?
There's always shit happening around the AT, also because of all the personalities involved and all of that drama. Even though, to be honest, what annoys me about it is the fact that when I look at it, I don't understand half of what's going on, right? And even though there's commentators, I still don't really feel like it's like watching ice hockey at fast forward. It's like, okay, someone scored. I don't know who actually passed anything to anyone. But the point is, the activity that's going on behind that is potentially massive.
Well, I mean, this is always the case, and people trot out that argument, and I'm kind of getting sick of it, to be fair. This argument that, it's not watchable because people don't understand it. Like, if you really watch a high-end chess tournament, when people start a match, they will be doing things that you are going like, as a average chess player, you're going, why the hell have they done that? And then over the course of about 5 minutes, they will proceed to do something so insane that you would never seen it coming, and you're like, how the hell did that happen?
What, cough cough PL boundary violation?
Well, there's that as well. There's always the bits where you go, okay, they tried the off-the-wall strategy and got utterly crushed. But when the off-the-wall strategy works, you're like, where the hell did that come from? Who would have thought of that, apart from these individuals? And this is the thing. The AT has always been this aspiration. If you can win in the AT, you are it has generally been considered that you are putting yourself against some of the best theory crafting minds, some of the best strategizing minds in the game, and you win and you come out ahead and you feel great about it, or you lose and you go, well, I lost to some of these great minds, but you know what? I gave them a run for their fucking money.
Yeah, we got a few kills, we won a match or two. And then you look at who you played against and you go, you know what? That actually wasn't too bad going.
And this is the thing,
new group.
It really does take on this whole new aspect when you consider that the AT is just the pinnacle of the things that you can do in EVE with small gang warfare. I mean, it's not 2 blocks going fucking hammer to tongs over a keep star or a pause. It's not that kind of environment. But it really does create an environment where every little move you make matters.
Yeah, and you get notoriety for doing it correct.
I'm going to address something again. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Anforum saying, or they could just play EVE and fight those very same people in actual space. Yeah, I just mentioned Skill U, who would not have been playing were it not for the AT and did go on to fight people in space.
But the other kind of thing is like
we wouldn't have had them were it not for the AT.
But the other kind of thing is like, even if they did create Skill Yourself like as a small group, do you think they would have grown and become such a large a large notorious force? Like
no, because they got big off the back of their AT wins.
They had the reputation.
They got the rep from the AT, which meant that people flocked to them. Like, if you try and do that now in like a small gang in LowSec, you'll spend years and years and years trying to do that.
And like, seriously, in chat, you can't dock in an AT tournament in an AT tournament fight, you can't warp away. You are there until you die or the timer runs out. Like you're on grid. There's no going back from that. Whereas, as I pointed out, nearly an hour ago now, we have jump gates where nowadays you can just be on a jump gate grid, and if you're close enough to the jump gate, if you're dying and you don't like the way it's going, you jump away, and they can't follow you, and you're safe. In the AT, you can't do that. You are like going down, or you're pulling something out of your ass, and it is a hell of an experience.
Can I ask an AT prize question?
Yeah, sure.
Would it not be interesting to see what would happen if those overpowered things that you got from the AT were implants instead of ships?
They wouldn't make much of a difference, in my opinion. Like the AT ships are so niche anyway that realistically
it would destroy a lot of value.
I mean,
once you inject them, you can't pull them back out. I guess unless you traded the character.
There's always this argument that crops up in the, PL, NC dot, insert other alliance here, funded their SRP off the back of AT ship sales.
And what I'm saying is that it would be interesting if the players that were participating in the game got a massive advantage on their actual activity outside of the tournament. So when you got killed by someone in small gang warfare, and you wondered how the hell did that guy actually manage to do that, it was because he had an AT implant.
No, you don't even need that. Like, you get noticed even if you just win a single match against someone who is renowned for being, an absolute expert at the AT. Like, you go in and if you're an unknown group and you pull off a win against like Hydra, like people sit up and notice. They go,
I mean, hell,
what the fuck?
Here's the thing, McLeod. If you're Goon Swarm Federation and run the Mittani in an AT match, you get noted. And
what?
I do just want to point out, by the way, just as a reminder to anybody who isn't aware, when the Mittani ran in that match, he had not practiced with our team. He had not done any of the prep that the rest of us had done. He was handed a shit, told, do the most damage that you can, and that was it. He didn't even know how to get... He didn't even get himself to our staging without help.
Yeah, and he ran polarized, I believe.
He did run polarized. He name tanked, and it was an entire meta game play. It was a psychological play, and this is part of why the AT is fantastic. You get to play psychological mind games against your enemies and have them work.
I kind of feel that Initiative does that every single time that Brisk is in the fleet with us.
No. Brisk doesn't run a psychological metagame. Brisk just runs a normal line ship and takes the beating. Brisk is in its whipping boy. That's really what's happened there.
So Brisk is ball-tacking.
Nobody likes...
Brisk is absolutely ball-tacking. Only Brisk isn't ball-tacking with a unique meme. Brisk is just ball-tacking with his name.
That really sounds like some strange thing that I'm not even going to talk about. I mean,
you should ball-tack.
No,
Eric.
No.
I would love to see you ball-tack.
That's a new hashtag.
That just sounds even worse.
Hashtag ball-tacking.
I'd love to see you ball-tack.
It is one of my favorite layouts for a ship, actually. I enjoy. Except when you're in 280 AU 10% tie-dye warp.
Yeah, that's true.
You mean like in PNDN?
Yeah, I might have been in that. Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do.
PNDN.
Do-do-do-do.
PNDN.
Fuck's sakes.
I love McLeod. McLeod's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Did we?
I just
Is it something
dawned
then
on me that like I'm
watch people die inside?
All right,
it's
guys.
just it just dawned on me that I'm in a room with a bunch of goons.
Caleb,
like the only thing missing is
McLeod.
Zor chaining.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's missing.
You
right
are
now.
you are not only
Send.
in a room with a bunch of
Zero.
goons. You're
Soft
in a
broker.
room with a bunch of old goons.
Soth broke the chain.
He said old.
With the chain in chat
Well, you got it
died
going,
within
baby.
seconds.
I mean, Barghost can't even get the right character. What the fuck, Barghost? It's
Hey,
a zero.
I was rushing
You
a
fucking
zero.
idiot. Christ.
Zor chaining is always with a zero, not with an uppercase
I
O
know.
or a lowercase O.
Yeah, come on, see her.
Just-
Come on. So
Man.
we've been going on for an hour and 45 minutes.
And can I just say that we only managed to touch on the major pause fight for about 90
minutes.
seconds?
Did we even mention it was actually like a Trillion-esque fight?
We did.
I don't think we talked about it properly.
Hold on. You know what I forget? Because it was so long ago? How long has it been since we had a fight that big in EVE?
Oh no, we did say that.
my
We
God.
did say it was.
But I
18.
forget. It's been so long ago. we
Nearly
talked about
2
it.
years.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
there was something I was going to say on that. We did miss one case, which was the Hex Citadel that belonged to Hog Hitman.
Mm.
That
There wasn't
But that was
easy.
just shy of a track.
And we didn't even get to talk about
Drag
Titan
Ball, but-
abortion and the original ideas for how structures were supposed to show when you were building Titan.
Caleb loves the idea of Titan abortion, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Here's a question, because I honestly don't know. Can you see, like, on the actual Citadel, on the model, what is in build in
No.
that
No.
Citadel? So
They
you
they
still can't
wanted
see
to
that.
with Titans.
You can
Yeah, no.
only
They
tell.
wanted to, and they claimed issues or too much intel
Right.
or some shit like that.
You
So-
can only tell what's in build once it's dead, and you look at the contents. Like,
Yeah,
for
see,
example,
this
like
is the
that,
thing.
Like
And this
that,
is back to what Sothrasil was saying, right? Someone is opposing an idea that is potentially a massive conflict driver because they don't want the risk.
Also, yes, somebody please, for the love of God, clip Sothrasil saying he doesn't know something and send it to me somehow. I don't care. Send it to me through
Every
fucking
fleet.
Twitch. I want that clip of Sothrasil saying he doesn't know something. And yeah, you only know it when it's dead. Like, for example, the Horde Satio that died, I don't know, was it
Fucking ages
15
back,
months
right?
ago? Which had the all of the Titan components for a Komodo. And everyone was like, oh yeah, that's a Komodo death.
Yeah, and
People did the
that
math.
wasn't Horde, was
And
it? That was,
it was Horde.
It
It
was
was
Horde.
Horde,
It was
and Horde denied it for ages, but eventually somebody came out and was like, yeah, it was a Komodo. And
Okay, I thought that was
Yeah,
the
we had-
module.
We had
No, it was a
screen
Horde thing.
grabs. No, we had screen grabs to show that it was Horde. It was a Horde CTO, and screen grabs from the from what was inside of it as well. Like the strange thing was that the CTO Killmail never actually appeared.
the Satiro Kill never turned up in game, but it turned up on Zekiel.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure it turned up on
I,
Zekiel.
I never saw
It turned up on
Ezekiel
Z-Kill because Squiz built it, though, like the
right.
original Titan.
You know,
Okay.
if you wanted to make it a big deal to have Titans and Supers,
You'd
why
make
don't
Titans
you
and Supers
just-
useful.
well, make them useful, but also if you want to limit their production capabilities so that they're targets, think about this. Think about
Go
the
back
fact
to
that you
the
can't.
limited slot builds.
Like
Yeah,
Eric,
well,
I actually
Yes
like Eric,
and no, but make it so that only one or two can be built in a facility at a time, and then the mechanic. Let me finish. And the mechanic that actually builds citadels, make that mechanic happening in 2 ship bays on the outside building the ships.
So Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, but as we've commented tonight that we had the biggest fight in nearly 2 years over a pause yesterday, and we've talked about the question of pause mechanics versus citadel mechanics. It seems like you might be describing something very similar to how we had it with pauses in 2015.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's also back to another thing that Eric mentioned that is very much aligned with what I am trying to suggest. There's been the talk about tokens so many times to limit something like Titans and Supers and maybe even structures. I don't understand why when we got structures, they didn't just say that things like rigs, which is basically the functionality of the thing, they're already very expensive. Make those drop every single time. Then you have your token design. People will destroy them to get those things, so they save on producing them themselves.
Also, just some real quick dank leaks for DKY, who asked us about who was rerunning on the CSM and who wasn't earlier. Mm-hmm. He said in Twitch chat, "Give us the Angel Crab Titan." Although he did actually
Risk.
No. He said, "Give us the Angel Crab Tatian." Is he trying to make a Midsummer Night's Dream?
His girlfriend is probably
he wants
Tatiana,
an Angel Titan.
And it was just
I was going to say, Brisk has confirmed in private that along with I just I'm gonna fucking plug Brisk's website here again. Brisk Rubal has a list on his website that talks about all of the things that he wants to fix. If you scroll down right to the bottom, if you scroll down right to the bottom, play number 5 on random thing Brisk wants is player built and owned Angel Capitals, including the Titans, because give me my Crab Titan, and also Triglavian Titans. Like, Brisk Rubal here is arguing for CCP finishing a fucking feature, like giving us a full rounded set of capital ships. We have Garista caps. We have Serpentis caps. We have Blood Raider caps. Where are my Mordu's Legion capitals? Where are my Angels capitals? Where are my Triglavian capitals? Brisk Rubal wants CCP to finish a feature before they move on to the next one. And he wants them to iterate on it too. Isn't that right, Brisk?
Brisk, I am very disappointed in you. Looking at this list, nowhere on this list I see the fucking promised capital ship rework, command ship rework.
Hey,
where's my command ship rework?
Hold it. I'll show you. I know right where it is.
I know right. Hold
on.
You don't want to rework anymore. You want to rebalance because the damnation is silly and the EOS needs some love.
Look at the top where you got the little kitten or dog humping the ship. Okay, it says fix everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, a low set gate to stain is absolutely a good idea.
By the way, Brisk, that should be a unicorn. You could tie it into like a Deadpool thing if you. Okay, just saying.
Oh, reload the page, Slothercell.
Love you, Brisk.
Reload the page.
I've just read something on this list that I hadn't seen before, actually. Tech 2 reactive armor hardeners.
Yeah.
I love that idea. That is a fantastic fucking idea.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Why has nobody informed me of the idea that Tech 2 reactive armor hardeners would be great?
What about Dead Space large reps? Been waiting for those forever.
I think I'm going to ask the one that I know Caleb wants and a few others will want, and I'm going to say it to my own detriment, but skill injector rebalance.
Man,
God damn it.
So CCP aren't going to touch skill injectors. Like,
you don't need skill injectors anymore. There's no effort needed to get into giant ships and train them for fucking years.
Eric,
no, Eric. No, right.
Being the most
Eric got that wrong. It's not that there's no effort involved. There is effort involved in getting into large ships, even if that effort is just pulling out your credit card and typing in the number.
I get it.
However, there is no value.
Well, that's what I
getting into large ships.
And I must have just used the wrong word. I mean, because there's like no reason to put the effort in, is what I meant, right? Exactly what you said, right? Like, I mean, I looked at my characters. I'm like, well, shit, I don't need to train anything. everything's a 5 for subcaps, and I can fly anything I want.
Honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to skill injectors, if a rebalance was to occur, like the closest approximation, an easy approximation as to like where I would imagine skill injector rebalance would be if it's an Omega skill, sorry, you can't inject into it. If it's not an Omega skill, yeah, go for it. Inject away.
I'm down with that. I'm also gonna like trigger Twitch chat a little bit again by saying that my main character Dirk is actually still training the list of skills that the GSF AT team figured that we needed 3 years ago.
Oh, me too.
Like that's what I'm focused on. I'm running subcap skills, subcap supports, you know, boosting skills, like full on, you know, level 5 navigation and cap skills, things like that. It's just, why not? Also, I love number 14 on Brisk's list, Logia on kill mails. Oh, this is kind of funny,
absolutely.
actually.
God,
From
CSM been a thing
1
for such a long time. Like I think,
and they still haven't done it.
There's a technical issue for that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it would have been done a long time ago.
Just like there's a technical issue with exposing various things to ESI. Oh wait, they don't really have much of an ESI team anymore.
Oh, that's great. So completely different than anything we've talked about in EVE. So one of the things I've noticed here the last month or so, or a few months or whatever it is the rise of this alliance called Silent Company.
And I was talking to my friend Morden today, and we were sitting there going, why are they getting so large? Because when we look at their kill board, it's like they exist to feed everybody else kills in low sec.
It is a new player recruitment trap, basically. They sit in new player systems and just go, here's a mass Eve mail. And
God.
And I'm sitting there going, and then I looked at their really nice website, very cool website, guys, very cool. And I sit there and say, they're just recruiting people to buy their minerals from them cheap to build things and sell them.
Like, I don't mind what they're doing if what they're doing
I don't either.
Like, it is not actually abusive. But if they are legitimately abusing new players when they're coming into the game to the point where, like, those new players are kind of going, you know what, I'm not going to fucking stick in this game. This game is bullshit. Like,
well, I think
then I have serious fucking issues.
I think the executor...
But if they're not doing that, then fair enough. But
I think the executor is running for CSM.
Eric, do you want to do a last thing before the potential fireside?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's whip through
3
it.
minutes of fireside.
Start with Soth, since she said it.
Yeah. Soth, go.
Vote for Brisk.
Okay.
Vote Brisk, baby. Vote Brisk, baby, but also pos mechanics beat Citadel mechanics.
Okay. Dirk.
I have to second both of these. Pos reinforcement timers are great. Brisk is great. I look forward to voting for him for CSM 15. And if you don't vote for him for CSM 15, you are some sort of heretic and deserve to burn in the fires of hell.
There you go. Caleb.
I'd just like to ask CCP to consider the fact that many of the things that have been said here today points them towards going back and iterating and fixing the stupid. They promised us that they would fix the stupid. Now, please start fixing the stupid.
They don't know what the stupid is.
No. If they need that, they can just go and watch all our episodes.
By the way, Caleb, you can't fix stupid. Okay, Bargos.
And shoot stupid.
Caleb,
I'm
goddamn you.
shooting stupid.
Okay,
Brisk, how much are you willing to pay me for each of my 50 votes? I want an answer.
By the way, I'll answer chat. Yes, Brisk is gay for Jay. Everybody is. If you have a brain,
he said awesome. He said it earlier, and it's live on Reddit quoted. And Bard Ghost, you are not allowed to bargain for Brisk votes. Brisk votes are required. Also, like, fucking, is gasoline even still $1.05 in the US? I thought it was less than that now.
I thought
it went up. It rebounded.
Isn't that a cost of a hand job from Dirk McGurk?
$1.05?
Oh, God.
No, that's a shot.
I just remember he was selling them at Vegas one year, and I think it was around $1.05.
Right. No, all right. Look, Boghost, now you've done something here in Twitch chat. Like, DKY is saying that he has 20 votes. No, you are not bargaining for Brisk votes. Vote for Brisk.
Yeah.
Bargain for other votes for whoever else wants. Brisk gets votes.
I'm just going to put this out here, Bart. You're going to vote for Brisk, or I'm going to let Whippler know that you didn't.
I mean, there's no way to confirm that they did or didn't, but they will be anyway.
Hey, Barghost. You're gonna vote for Brisk, or Whibbler's gonna know. And
Whibbler.
By the way,
Barghost.
No.
What
Brisk
just won me.
do for you.
Do we have to go back,
you
Eric?
could do for your CSM.
Brisk just won me with that comment.
Like, Whibbler does not need such things as proof of whether or not you voted.
No, I'm taking this anyway.
We are getting Brisk elected, and then we're going to blackmail him for the things that we want in Eve, because we've got pictures of him in the shower. It's that simple, guys.
Yeah. It's that simple.
Yes.
Are you telling us you have the uncropped version?
We've
way,
got Brisk's shower shot, and we've got Eric's bottle of lube. So, what more do we need?
I don't think this counts as leverage if we're exposing it already, though.
All right, we got to go because fireside.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Yep.
All right.
Time. We will see you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for being here. It was great fun today. Lots of fun.
Wait a second.
What?
I have to interject real quick. This is a Merkelchen fireside, so people really need to get to this on time. See you guys later.
We're already late.
It'll be done in 2 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
I'm actually going to listen to the fireside while I stick around.